Hare Krishna, all. So, Bhagavad Gita, the theme tonight is confusion. So, here in the second chapter, Contents of the Gita Summarized, we have a verse by Arjuna. It's text 7, chapter 2. Famous verse, actually. Karpanya dosha hata swabhava Prichami tvam dharma samuda chetaha Yachreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me Shishyaste ham sadimam tvam prapanam. So Karpanya dosha pahata. Arjuna is admitting that he's Karpanya, his consciousness or his attitude is miserly, and dosha, he's quite weak. Why is he saying that? Now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. So he's worried about his own sense gratification, that I'm attached to my family members, my cousins, the Kauravas, my grandfather Bhishma, my guru Dronacharya. They're all standing there in front of me, and you, Krishna, are asking me to kill them all. Such great personalities who lived with me throughout my life, like Bhishma Dev. He inadvertently ended up on the wrong side of the aisle. He's on the side of the enemy. So Arjuna here is feeling great compassion. Of course, devotee feels compassion for all living beings, and he's a great Vaishnava. So he's feeling compassion. Oh, I have to destroy the great host of the Kauravas, my relatives, my cousins, my great-grandfather, Bhishma, my guru, my uncles, and so on. Uncle Dhritarashtra's not there, but his kingdom will be destroyed. So finally he says here, what should I do that is best for me? I'm your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So in the material world, each advesa sumutena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani samoham. Bewilderment is there for living entities who are born in ignorance, overcome by the dualities of desire and hate. Each advesa samutena dvandva mohena bharata. So all living beings are overwhelmed by these dualities of desire and hate. We desire things, and if we can't get them, then we feel envy or hate towards someone who has them. That is the main problems in our material world. Why are we bewildered? Bewilderment is there, or confusion is there, because the mind is influenced by the mode of passion. Mode of passion is characterized by greed, lust, obsession with material things, material possessions, obsession with material fame and prestige, obsession with social position. These are all very materialistic mentalities, and that causes one bewilderment or confusion because paravavastava bodhajato, that a person who's striving for these material things, the way Krishna has arranged the illusory energy, one can only attain or acquire some kind of misery. As Krishna says in the 14th chapter on the modes of material nature, karmana sukritasya hi, sukritasya hu, satvikam nirmalam phalam, rajasastu phalam dukam, that in the mode of passion one experiences misery. And that's very bewildering because a person becomes confused or bewildered because they're thinking, oh, if I gratify my senses, if I accumulate more money and wealth and more fame and power, I'll be happy. But Krishna is saying he set up the material world, the modes of material nature, conducted by his external illusory energy personified by Maya, Mama Maya Duratyaya, very, very difficult for one to suffer. There's actually, Prabhupada said, there's no real happiness in this material world. Mamopecha punarjanma dukalayama shashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsidim paramam gatim. So here Arjuna is bewildered, he is confused about what to do in life. So that is the problem, that those persons who are born without spiritual guidance, without a spiritual master, giving them the vision of life that I am not the body. That's the theme here in the second chapter. I'm not this body. The material body is a vehicle, yantra, rudani mayaya. It's a vehicle made of material elements, and the soul is who I really am. Najayati miyate vakadachan. I never die and I never take birth. Nayan bhutva bhavita vanabuya. The soul is never hurt, it's never exhausted, it doesn't expire, it goes on. Nahanyate hanyamane, it never dies, or nor does it cause anyone else to die. So that is the soul. So this is the foundation or the basic beginning of real knowledge. So bewilderment and confusion is when one identifies with this temporary material body and tries to acquire some kind of pleasure through the senses, and is subject to the demands of the body and mind. The mind is dictating to the senses, go here, get this, go here, get that. Kripanidhi said, the mind reflects the heart's desires, and desires spring up from the heart just like weeds on a large field. In a very large field, there's unlimited amounts of weeds. So Kripanidhi is saying this. So that is the crux or the nutshell of why we're bewildered or confused. So therefore, in this purport describing, we need the wisdom, Vedic wisdom. And that is given by the great sages. Who I am, what is my purpose in life, and what's my relationship in this world? Is there a supreme being, and so on. So another reference to confusion is the second chapter, the third chapter, second verse. Vyamishrineva vyakena buddhim mohaya sivame tarikam vada nischitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. Arjuna is here in the third chapter saying to Krishna, my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively what will be the most beneficial thing for me to do. So that is the question that the disciple asks the guru. What should I do that helps me make some spiritual advancement, which is real advancement of civilization, is to become God conscious, to develop a relationship with God. Krishna Surya Saman Maya Haya Andikar, Yahan Krishna Tahan Mai Adhikar. That God or Krishna is like the sun. When the sun rises in the sky, then all ignorance, illusion, Maya Haya Andikar, all darkness is removed by the sun. So this knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita removes the darkness of ignorance, and one becomes freed from a state of confusion or bewilderment. So, tad viginartam sagurumi vabhigachat sumitpani shotirum brahmanishtam. One must, tad viginartam evam, means certainly, without question, one has to accept a bona fide spiritual master who has seen the truth. Tad vidi pranipatena. One should definitely take shelter, pranipatena, submit himself to a bona fide, self-realized soul who has seen the truth. In other words, one experiences the existence of God or Krishna, or what we call seeing or realization of God or Krishna through the practice of Bhakti Yoga. And in 1861, the final chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Videshi Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantarudani Mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. So this is the nature of God. He states in many places, like in the 9th chapter, Mayata Tamidam Sarvam Jagyata Vyaktamurtina, that I'm spread throughout this entire universe. Mastani Sarvabhutani Maite Teshu Chapyaham, that all beings are in me, but I am not in them. And then he says, Pashya me yoga maishvaram, bhuta bin nacha bhuta sto, yatma bhuta bhavitaha. That I'm in all living beings are in me, at the same time I am separate from them. How is that possible? That's Krishna's inconceivable potency, achintya guna swarupam. He has inconceivable potencies. So the sun is spread everywhere throughout our universe. At the same time, the sun globe is 93 million miles away from here. So that's a similar analogy there, that Krishna is spread everywhere by his Paramatma feature, the Paramatma feature. Isvara Sarvabhutanam, Rideshi Arjuna Tishtati, that I'm seated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and directing the wanderings of all living entities. So the living entity is desiring, and Lord God is supplying according to his karma and what he deserves. Man proposes, God disposes, kind of idea. So if one has material desires or commits all kinds of abominable activities, what is called sinful activities, Krishna may fulfill that desire because we have our free will, and one may have to pay for that eventually through the process of karma. But these desires that one is being fulfilled by God, those desires are the cause of degradation, bewilderment, confusion, and so on. So we see in society today, people are overwhelmed by so many degrading desires that actually bewilders the mind and causes chaos and suffering in their lives. So that is why this verse is mentioned, that Krishna is directing the wanderings of all living entities. Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. So that is the nutshell idea of confusion. And for us to transcend that kind of situation, we must take shelter of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.